Well, we had a bit of a hiccup for a while. I was waiting for a new machine torch. There's a guy on eBay, goes by Plasmadyne. Once I get his card here, I'll put it on the camera. But well, here's his. There you go. Here's his logo there, and there's his email and contact info. He makes Hypertherm torches to fit, you know, Chinese-made plasma cutters. Now, maybe someday I'll buy a Hypertherm torch if this project goes anywhere, but right now I'm running this prime weld cut 60 torch. Prime weld. It's actually worked out really good. Their customer service is absolutely fantastic. I had a mistake and did kind of a bad thing and ended up screwing up a board in that plasma cutter, and believe it or not, when I called them, told them what happened, explained to them honestly what I did, they sent me a whole new plasma cutter, and it was completely my fault, and I made sure they knew that, and I was more than willing to pay for one, but they wouldn't hear of it. They sent me a whole new plasma cutter, but that's a whole separate story. So right now, the torch that comes with the machine torch that comes with this, it's okay, don't get me wrong, it works pretty well. But I'm trying to get the best quality cut I can out of this project with the, you know, closed loop stepper motors and really tuning in the axes and getting the gantry squared up and just really trying to do everything I could to get this thing as, you know, as accurately and cutting quality as high as I could. So as part of that, I went ahead and I bought this, you know, Hypertherm style torch. So I'm going to do something with this. It's just kind of sitting in here. That's going to be my touch off temporarily till I get something squared away, and this is going to be just a little trial to get things dialed in. But this is the Hypertherm style nozzle, and I'm really excited to see how much better cut quality I have going on here. So I'm going to get this thing fired up and squared up. Okay, I got the touch off. I think working pretty good with the ohmic sensor. Like I say, I got to do a better job on that connection, but there, that's your sensor touch. Here it goes. There you go. Got 1 inch right on. So the ohmic is working. Now I got to calibrate the torch voltage next. Okay, here we are. We're inside the prime weld cut 60. The guy, Plasmadyne, that sells these Hypertherm style torches has a lot of documentation that some of these plasma cutters don't have enough airflow to fire that higher, bigger torch. Inside the cut 60 here, there is a little tiny air dryer that I think has to go from what he's talking about. It just doesn't have enough flow. They have some lines here you can see running along, going to that solenoid, up to the gauge or the regulator. I don't need that little dryer in there. I'm getting rid of it. You can see what I got here. I got a big heavy, these are like, I think they're what, 1/2 inch ID lines. I got this huge Deskin dryer here. Then I got a line here, just to bring you around this side. You know, I have this line here. This is my feed. It's like a, I think that's 5/8 ID. No, I think that's 1/2 inch ID. This is 3/8 ID. So I have this surge tank down here. So I went to great distance and great extent to make sure I had good airflow even before I started this project. And as you can see, that goes up to the roof there. And I got that full, I can't remember, that's 1/2 inch ID airline running along the building, you know, over, well, how you can see it here. It goes along the building up there. Their standard is 3/8. I went for 1/2 because I wanted the flow. Comes down into here, into this little manifold block, into my what do I call, refrigerated air dryer. And then of course, you know, down to here and into the compressor. So I went to great lengths to make sure I had solid airflow. It works well with the prime weld torch, not a problem, but clearly this high flow torch, this Hypertherm high flow torch, which I'm sure is going to be a lot better, that's the torch, requires more air to fire it. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to film all this, but I'm going to have to get in here, get rid of this little tiny air dryer, which is useless with all the air drying I got going on. That's the second reason. The surge tank's here to catch any air, gives a chance for the air to cool off before. So I went to what I thought was great lengths here to get good air to this machine. But so here we go. We're going to get into some other project. And there's my new regulator hanging out the back, but this definitely provides a lot more flow than what I had there, and it is firing the torch properly. So okay, I just did the voltage calibration off camera. Centroid has a nice setup and a program to calibrate the torch voltage and the software. So I just did that. This is Centroid's pulse wheel. This thing is sweet. It might be tough to do this and hold the camera at the same time, but you know, like any other pulse wheel in a CNC, you got your X, Y, and Z. It's a nice quality feeling hand wheel. Makes it dynamite for picking up your zeros. Like, yeah, it could be fun to have one of those lasers on this thing too. Okay, I'm liking that. Moving over. Okay, calling that 0. Doing any measurement right off, I will say the cut quality looks a lot better than the original torch. Yeah, the edges seem really nice and square. The holes look really nice and round. I'm gonna have to do some measurement, but that torch definitely seems to be a lot better than what I had. And I'm gonna do some measurement. Okay. Here you go. It's supposed to be 2 inches wide. Whoops. 2 inch wide. Hear that? 5 thou over. Straight 5 thou over. 4 inches long. Get off that part there. 4 inches long. Friggin' dang, they're right on. I mean, Jesus. And hole size is 3/4. It's running a little bit big. It is round. I think I had them programmed at 3/4. I have to double check my program. I might have had them slightly over so I could have clearance, but they're round and both running about 15 over, which I think is what I had in the program. That's pretty good. Slag knocked off pretty easy. I could bump these off. The corners came off pretty nice. Edge quality's nice. Okay, I think I ran that 1/8 inch material with the wrong profile. I kind of thought it was moving a little bit slow. I think I had the 1/4 inch profile selected. Be that as it may, it cut pretty good. Okay, now I do have a piece of 1/4 inch material for sure, and the 1/4 inch profile. So I think we're gonna give this a go. Alright, well, I think I did run the wrong profile on that first cut. The dross on this is almost non-existent. I didn't even touch it. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that well enough or not. And as far as size goes, cut 10 thou under, 5 thou under. I mean, that's pretty awesome with a plasma cutter. Overall length of 4 inch. There you go. Whoops, I'm sorry. There it is. Just 5 under. Hole size supposed to be 750. 755. Is it round? Turn it 90 degrees. You know, 755. Same. 90 degrees. 755. Eric, I don't know if you get a good look at that. That's pretty decent quality. The cuts are nice. They look pretty straight. The edge looks pretty good. Oh, it did one weird thing. I didn't video it, but I'll have to get a little practice with the Centroid software, but I had something called Smart Sense turned on. So as it was coming up this side here, I noticed the torch was pulsing up and down. So it was doing something with the voltage. It was, you know, kind of, I don't know, it was pulsing up and down. Obviously the torch light control's working, but you can actually see a little bit of, I don't know if you can catch that right, but you can actually see a little bit of difference. Pretty nice though. That's where it started. Pretty good. All right, I'll keep working at this for a while. Well, if you notice, I got my computer screen mounted down a little lower and got it off that kind of crappy half-ass setup I had there on the top. So I made myself a nice little bracket back here on the plasma cutter. So now I got it down where it's decent to look at. I got the covers on. I modified that one there because now with my stepper motors with encoders, they're taller than the originals. So I'm modifying some of these brackets. I'm going to do 2 of these side brackets to, you know, for the motors that now stick out the sides a little bit. But with this Centroid, I know it's just something simple, a rectangle, but it takes you 30 seconds to program it. Post it right up, it's ready to go. It's pretty darn convenient so far. I'm sure I'll take some time, and I got to work on posting offline too. I have another piece of software I can use to post offline, and it has its own Centroid post processor, so I'm going to have to play with that a little bit maybe today and see if I can't get that up and working. But this is interesting because for me it's a little new. I have that ohmic sensor on the end now, and since it's painted it doesn't make contact, so then it defaults back to the proximity sensor back here for its offset, and it seemed to work perfect. So I'm gonna give it a go here and see what happens. Well, there you go, everybody. I got my side cover back on. Electric box is buttoned up. Computer seems to be pretty good with its new mounting. Got my top cover modified and put on. And I got my other side cover here modified and put on. Now it's just a matter of getting some time on the torch and getting time with the table and seeing how it cuts. Thanks for watching, everybody. I don't know, like, subscribe, do whatever you want. Whatever. Okay. Hey, enjoy. See you guys.